Hey everyone, it's Kai from Cool Collectibles back again for another review. This time it's the Hot Toys MMS557 Endgame Thor. And this figure has been a long time coming. I think it released in Hong Kong probably about 4 or 5 months ago, back in June or July. And it has taken a while, as always, for Australian distributors to get their stock. But luckily, once pop culture here in Australia did get their stock, it pretty much arrived from Victoria to South Australia here within 1 day, which is a pretty good shipping time considering the COVID conditions and so on. But I'm definitely glad to finally add him to the collection since maybe a month or two ago I got the Endgame Captain America, so now I'm just waiting on the final battle damaged Iron Man Mark 85, I think it is. But I don't think I'll get that until early 2022. But just give you guys a quick look at the box art here. I do like that front cover art there. It does look very nicely done there in that sort of cartoon style. Pretty much just a window box underneath that sort of slip cover. And as you can see, once you unbox everything, this set does actually come with quite a lot of stuff. And I do actually like the electronic features quite a lot. Typically I don't like the battery and the light up features, but for this one they are quite a lot of fun, and the way they've done it for the weapons there, for example, is very, very well done. So I might just get the box and everything else out the way and give you guys a closer look at the accessories. Hold on. Alright, accessories wise, starting with the base, I guess it's fairly decent. I can't remember exactly what I got with the Captain America one. It's back in the cabinet now, but I don't typically use the bases if I don't have to in the display, but this one doesn't look too bad. What I don't like about this stand though is that it doesn't have the usual crotch grabber at the top there. They've included the sort of flight stand with the sort of connection there and then the bendable wire. I'm not quite sure why they did that for this figure. I guess they might have thought collectors would be posing Fat Thor here, flying through the air or something. And they've got the sort of waist grabber, which is a little bit strange because I don't think this thing's going to really get around the waist of the fatter figure. But I typically hate using these things, and there are so many reports of these damaging the suits and so on. Probably not so much on something like Thor with maybe hard armor, but definitely with some of the Spider-Man figures or the Superman figures. These definitely have damaged the figures in the past, so I would caution against using that. For me, I'll probably just be displaying it in a fairly museum type pose anyway, with the arms out holding the weapons, just like that scene just before they had the fight with Thanos. But that's pretty much the stand. It does come with a whole bunch of hands as well, if I can get them into view. There's probably, how many sets of hands here? That's 2, 4, 6, 8, plus the 2 pairs of fists that he's got on there, so 5 pairs of hands. That's pretty good. And I do like the sort of combinations that they've got here with the sort of splayed out hands like he had when he was sort of summoning the weapons. So you can sort of have him with his arms out holding that. I'll probably have both of these with Stormbreaker and Mjolnir in each hand. Paint application is pretty good as per standard for Hot Toys. This one here is a slightly more closed fist, so I'm not sure if that's meant for, say, Mjolnir, and this one's for Stormbreaker as the larger one, but I'll double check that. And then of course he's got the sort of just the relaxed hands if you want to go with that style there. But of course the best accessories for me are the 2 weapons. So here's Mjolnir. I've already attached all the lighting effects. I'll just turn off at least one of the lights here. I love this light up feature. Without the light up feature, the metallic finish on Mjolnir here is really, really nice. It's got a nice weathering effect on it. Sort of the panel lining, if you want to call it, or inking on it is very nicely done. But the best feature is when you turn it on, it lights up really well. And it's got that translucency through the inside light, and that sort of clouding effect. I don't actually know how they've achieved that, to be honest, because when you turn it off, it looks solid. So you've got the metallic, sort of almost chromed paint up on the outside, but as soon as you turn it on, the light really does shine through from the internals there. So I don't know how they've achieved that, to be honest, but however they've done it, it looks pretty damn good. The light doesn't really go through the translucent plastic. I guess it's not strong enough, or the light doesn't sort of perpetuate all the way through, but it does give a nice effect anyway. Now, Stormbreaker here, I didn't have I think it was the Infinity War figure, which I think did have some sort of bending handle problems, and the size of it was quite a bit smaller. But this version here looks pretty fantastic. I love the sort of weathered look again. It's very similar to the Mjolnir, and you can get all of these light up and sort of lightning effects through the handle. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 plastic pieces that you attach to it. And again, you just press a button at the top here. If I just have that on, and the lighting effect does look pretty bloody awesome. I love how they've done that. If anyone knows the technique they've done for the paint application, where it looks solid from one side, but when the light turns on, it sort of shines through, let me know in the comments, because I would love to know how they've achieved that effect, because it does look fantastic. And you then just press the button on top there. The only thing I guess I don't like about Stormbreaker here is for some reason there's a very strange seam line here. If the camera can sort of pick that up, it's pretty minor, but I guess that was the only thing I thought. I thought it was actually a crack in the plastic there, but I quickly looked at some of the other blogger photos, and it does seem to be on all the figures. So just something to watch out for there. But other than that, I think it's pretty fantastic. The other accessories, he's got a couple more lighting effects that you can put around his forearms. So I'll probably pose it up a little bit later. Then of course, as I showed in the figure before, he has all of these, I guess, shields or little circle things, or whatever you want to call them, in his armor there. And of course I've taken off the cappings, but if you just turn on the light switch here, you'll see that they are quite bright. So typically you put the sort of normal capping over the top of them, like so, to have that sort of standard look. Then it comes with all of these lightning pieces that you can then attach like that. So that style does look very, very nice. So I might, even if you turn it off, actually, what I was going to show was, even if you turn it off, it still looks pretty good with the sort of bright white paint application. So you don't necessarily need the lights to give it that good effect. But I'll get all of these accessories out the way and give you guys a closer look at the figure itself. Hold on. Alright, so here is the figure up close, and I have to say that head sculpt is absolutely fantastic. It's a shame that the hair here doesn't sort of sit a little bit closer to the chest. You can angle the head down a little bit to fix that, so it does stick up a bit, but luckily it is a softer plastic, so that you can sort of move it and rotate it around the shoulder if you want to have him sort of looking to one side a little bit more. But that Hot Toys stranding in the hair is just amazing. I think the only other company that has done that sort of detail with the braiding and so on is Asmus Toys with their Gimli. But I don't think they could have achieved anything like all of the braids in the hair here, the top, and then this sort of detailed braiding in the beard. There is a warning about this little tuft at the bottom here, so just be careful there. That's a bit of soft plastic. The paint application in the skin is the typical gorgeous freckling of Hot Toys, and the likeness there definitely is probably the best for Chris Hemsworth that I think Hot Toys have done. The Infinity War one is pretty good. The only other Thor figure I have is the Dark World Asgardian armor, I think it was called, or light armor version. So I'll pull that out a little bit later just for a quick comparison, but I think this is a definite improvement over that. The cape at the back here is sort of like a felt, almost satin type material. From memory, the Dark World one was almost like a suede material, so it is slightly different, but it's got all the nice sort of pleating and design at the back there. No weathering or anything at the bottom or the edges, but not too big a deal there. The armor at the tops here for the arms, they feel like almost like a bit of rubberish type material. Not sure if the bending of the arms, I guess that is to kind of start sort of creasing this rubber here, so just be careful how long you keep that bent. But for me, I'll definitely have mine with his arms outstretched, calling the weapons. So that'll be how I have him in the display. The whole sort of torso piece here is a very hard, rigid piece. I guess that helps to mold the fat gut there. I prefer to call him Fat Thor, to be honest. I'm not sure. I think the politically correct term is Bro Thor. I'm not sure who made that up, but I think that just sounds. I think that sounds stupid. But it definitely was fat for me. But I love that look. I love the way they've done that, and it looks pretty good. It does hinder the articulation. There is a bit of waist articulation there, but you're not going to get too much out of that torso. The pants here are a nice sort of pleather, I guess it is. It is fairly restrictive. I can't really get too much movement out of it, to be honest. But I guess apart from that fight scene, he wasn't moving around too much. But I do love the sort of detailing. It's, Hot Toys is probably the only company I know that can sort of get this tailoring with this sort of detail in the costumes. The boots there, I think, are very similar to the Infinity War version, if not identical, which I guess sort of makes sense. Get a bit of an idea of the tread on the feet there. So overall, I think this outfit is pretty fantastic. I think from an articulation wise, I guess the knees maybe get to 90 degrees if you're lucky. At least this part here on the knee pads is fabric. And with the arms, that's as far as I can go with the arms. I can't get them any higher than that. They are on a bit of a ratchet there. But as I was saying before, I'm just going to have it sticking up like that as he was calling for the weapons and changing into, or essentially getting out of his tracksuit outfit into this outfit. It does stand pretty well without the stand, so just be careful on how you pose it up. But I'm just going to finish posing it up with all the lighting effects and how I want it on display, and then give you a final comparison. Alright, so here he is with all the lighting effects and the lightning effects attached to him, and I think it looks pretty damn awesome. The chest, torso area definitely is pretty damn bright. I think if you sort of refresh the batteries on the Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, I think they'll be even brighter than they are now. Mine was actually flickering a little bit dimmer, so the batteries are obviously running out already out of the box. But as you can see, the overall figure does look pretty awesome. I was a little bit worried that the features were going to be a bit toyish, but overall it does look pretty good. I don't think it looks too toyish actually, now that I've got it all set up, and I'll definitely have him displayed like this in my cabinet. But for now, just to close up, I'll just get the Asgardian light armor version for a quick comparison, and then finish off. Thanks. Alright, so here are the two versions side by side. And I still do like this original version from the Dark World, even though I did hate that movie. The cape, as I was saying before, is a sort of felt material, and you can sort of make out at the bottom there and sort of through the dark wash that there is a bit of weathering there. So I do actually prefer the cape on that version, but as you can see with the head sculpt, the Dark World version is pretty good, but I think the likeness they definitely have improved as they've gone through the years with Infinity War and now this Endgame version. I do love the sort of two variants of the armor, so there is quite a bit of difference between the two, as opposed to, I guess, the Infinity War version and this Endgame version that are very similar. So I think if you've got, like myself, these two versions, I think you should be pretty happy, as I am, with the overall sort of style of what you can get with Thor in the cabinet. I guess I'm not going to get any more versions of Thor. I think that's pretty much it for me. I was thinking of getting, something from Infinity War, but I'll probably pass on that, and it'll be interesting to see what they have in the Love and Thunder versions coming out probably next year or the year after. But hopefully you like that look and my thoughts on this Endgame Thor. I give it a pretty good rating. So if you're a Marvel fan, definitely look out for it, particularly if you're here locally in Australia. But hopefully you can stick around for my next video as well, because that will be the 1/6 scale Lando Calrissian, which came in the same shipment from Pop Culture just yesterday. So hopefully you can give this video a like and subscribe, and stay tuned for that coming up next. And until then, thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers. Bye.